Hello YouTube, welcome back to yet another Neverness to Everness video. Today we are doing a guide video for the latest character coming out on global, Chaos. Alright, so Chaos is a new character from Neverness to Everness. So in this guide, we're going to focus on four main things. We're going to talk about his core identity and then the mechanics that accompany that, his awakening details, his arc and console, and then finally the Kimcom and combat rotation, as well as have collected some like frequently asked questions from the previous the before you pull video I posted earlier, as well as like different forums like Reddit and Discord. I'll like include them in my guide video as well in this current video. So let's continue on with the video. So Chaos is described as a special agent of the ATD 6 Strike Squad in the game. So let's see how the developer described that in game for Chaos. So first of all, he has something akin to a disguise, similar to how Clark Kent has his glasses. You can tap G to remove his mask or put on his mask. And then you can hold G to put down a special teleportation point. You can summon a dog and then put it down. You can travel to that teleportation point from like any part of the map. You can also remove it like pressing recycle, or you can go up to it like on the map and then like press F to recycle it. And then another way that the game have used to showcase his like special scouting abilities. He can use jump and then attack to send out a shockwave to detect all the enemies in the area. They will grow bright red. So that is how it is like in the city skill, how they build him up as this kind of like scouting reconnaissance character. So let's move on to how he performs in combat. So Chaos is a Lakshana main damage dealer. To continue on the whole theme of like justice, he has his own energy bar called Crime, and the maximum is 1000. It's represented by that scythe above your HP bar, and when it reaches maximum, the head of the scythe will like tip downwards, kind of like how it is now. And when this happens, if you hold your charge attack button, Chaos will perform a huge like follow-up damage with a cut of the scythe. And if you exhaust all your crime to deal like big damage to the enemy. And you can collect crime by using a normal attack, your E, your skill, or your like evasion skill. They will all collect the crime rate. And the way to expand it is literally there's just only one, which is to use your special follow-up attack. Alright, so we have crime. Now we need someone to deal with the crime. So for that we have Warren, which is something a debuff Chaos inflicts on the enemy whenever you use your redirect skill, which is your E. It increases the damage taken by the enemy when they are marked, which you can see is kind of like a claw mark on the enemy. And you can only inflict this debuff on 2 people at once whenever you use it with your E. But then the difference is when you use your Q, it will instantly inflict Warren on all the enemy within the area. And when you're in your Q status, you gain a lot more crime passively. But you also like gain crime from doing the usual stuff, which is the normal attack and your E. Right, there's one last like damage output for Chaos that we need to talk about, which is he changes the reaction of Lakshana and Cosmos Remora into a kind of a ticking time bomb. So if we use the main character and then Chaos, that we have implemented Remora, and then we just wait for a moment, it will kind of explode with a damage right there. The damage number is actually not that low if you consider it, if you look at the multiplier. But there is a very major component on how to get the big numbers, and it is thanks to this thing. And it's because of these that we can deal big. I mean wrong slide. One second. Sorry about that. So from the, if you look at Chaos the Esper reaction skill, you'll see that the longer the Remora lasts, the bigger the explosion damage is going to be. So that brings up a very crucial member of his team, which is Hathor, because Hathor's special skill extend Imora's like duration as well as increase crit damage of anyone on character inflicted with Remora. So that has basically settled one of the core character of Chaos team, which is Hathor. Alright, at this point I wish to bring up a frequently asked question regarding this arrangement. Like people ask, is Hathor tied, like permanently tied to Chaos? And the answer is kind of yes, because if you don't pair them together, you're losing around like 50% of your damage output from the Remora explosion. I'll put a quick like image here on the video. You can pause it if you want on the calculation involved. Right, so that's basically everything on Chaos core mechanic and his identity. We have touched a bit about his team comp, but let's not jump off the sequence. So now we are going to talk about his 6 awakening. There are a few that are quite simple, so we're going to go through them swiftly. So this number 2 is ignores enemies defense when they are inflicted with Warren. Number 3, increase your crit damage after you use your ultimate for 20 seconds. And then number 4 is for group enemy. So after you kill someone with Warren, the Warren will transfer to someone nearby. Number 5 is the opposite, meaning if there's only one person with one enemy with Warren on field, your damage is going to increase. So alright, I want you to pay attention to the side above your HP bar, because both Awakening 1 and Awakening 6 deal with your crime rate. Your Awakening 1 allows you to gain crime faster when you attack enemy who are inflicted with Warren, which is your E. Then your Awakening 6 gives you one full instant, full scythe bar whenever you, right after you use your Q, your ultimate. So one tip here is like, in my case, my crime bar is almost full now, so I don't want to waste it. So before I use my ultimate, I'm going to like exhaust my crime first and use a follow-up attack. Then now I'll use my Q. So instantly I will get a full bar. So I'll start instantly with a follow-up attack. So that is Awakening 1 and Awakening 6. So regarding the awakening and which one is more prioritized, number 2 is better than is the best so far, because different strat is like calculated to be the best based on the calculation from the CN server. And number 6 is better than number 1. I'll put like a summary of the whole thing on screen. You can pause the screen if you want to take a better look at that. So that concludes the part on the awakening, and then now we'll move on to the next part. Alright, Chaos' best arc is naturally his signature arc. It's what's desired because it provides crit rate and then Lakshana damage and then crit damage as well. So it's basically everything that he wants. But is there free-to-play alternative? Yes, there is as well. Then we're going to look at them now. So if you don't have Chaos signature arc, you can use the arc from the Battle Pass. I think it's Fluff of Ferocity, I believe, if I'm mistaken. So, but if you don't have that either, you can settle for A rank arc, which is a time will come. Once again, I'll put up a screen grab to show like the minor details and the calculation between the premium arc and the free-to-play alternative on screen. Alright, and for Chaos console, it's definitely you want Strip Boxer because it's Lakshana damage, and then this is the stuff, the Tetris pieces you want to like try for. And then I'll put another screen grab again of like the different main stat and the substat that you can go for. You can pause the video to take a better look at them if you wish. Alright, now is the last segment and the team comp and the rotation. So for this particular team, we are just going to show the rotation of the meta team currently on CN. So this is the team members. We have Chaos as the main DPS, and then our MC to enable the expert reaction, Hanyu for general support and also for stain, and then the last one is Hathor for the additional like the explosion for Remora. You don't even need to like put Hathor on field. She can just be there. Because you just need her to extend the Remora period. Alright, for the team rotation, you start with your MC, use your Q, and then use your E to get the Esper cycle, and then switch to Chaos for Remora, and then Chaos you want to use your E, and then quickly switch to Hanyu, and Hanyu use your QE, and then switch back to Chaos. We do this because Remora lasts 12 seconds now thanks to Hathor, and then Hanyu's ultimate is 10 seconds. So if you want the buff, you have to do it like this. And then after you switch to Chaos, use your Q. And if you have Awakening 6, instantly charge attack. If you don't, just normal attack to collect your cram charges. And then just do your combo, which is your Q and your E. And then just repeat the thing. Here you got Remora, and then go to Chaos, and then Hanyu. Then just repeat. Alright, so that ends the guide for our first limited fail male character in Neverness to Everness, Chaos. I apologize if I missed anything. I'm just very new to this. If you like this kind of content, please remember to drop a like and follow. If you have any like comments for me to how to improve, please drop it down below. I'll try to read everything, and I appreciate all criticism. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Take care of yourselves.